Molweni. Hello? Hello? No, siyaphila sisi kunjani? How are you? I seem to have a problem with the audio. I can't really hear. Can we? Hello? It's very soft, such that I can't hear. Now I hear you. No, good evening. How are you? Yes. No. Thank you very much, and once again, good evening to your listeners. One, the reason why today we marched to SPA is because of the EFF has got a labor desk. Now, the labor desk it came about from the realization that workers would come to us and say that they are affiliated with unions, however, they are not assisted, and then therefore, even the case of the workers of SPA came to the EFF. Now, the reason why we were there then today was that the workers had come to the EFF raising an issue that there was a declaration being made by the CCMA when they were told to go back to work. But now the failure of the employer to enforce the declaration was what we went for. Now, one, we went there because we as the EFF are the vanguard of the working class, and then therefore workers were exploited or were not treated right. But secondly, we went to defend the law of South Africa, because the declaration that had been given comes from the CCMA, and the CCMA is an entity that is legal and that is represented. So not only were we just defending the workers, but we went there in also defense of the Constitution and of the law of South Africa. So that is basically why you saw us at Humud Spa this morning. No, one, it was good to see one of our brothers around us, Andy Lelungisa, coming back. If there's ever anything else, we are not like other political parties who were saddened by the events of today, but in actual fact, we were happy to see Andy Lelungisa come back. Now, a person would be shocked. How can an opposition party be happy? But firstly is that when he was ushered into the North End prison facility, correctional facility, the EFF was among the organizations that were there. And the reason why we support Andy Lelungisa, or rather we are happy with his return, is that we have had a problem of people within the legal system of South Africa not being treated right, and especially this ill treatment is towards black people. Now, we are not saying, and we do not celebrate criminality, we do not celebrate the break of the rule of the law. Hence, today you would see us marching to SPA, and later we will also see us celebrating the release. The problem we had was that Andy Lelungisa, even he himself says he's wrong. We also as the EFF do not condone the activities. However, the problem that we've got is that the sentence that was meted to him does not equal to the charge that, or rather to the activity or the criminal act that he did. No fine was given, but 2 years. And then therefore, the EFF feels that more than just being the law, but also there was a political hand, the third hand, political hand. And then therefore, we have been saying, like, if it would be you, if it would be me, whenever you are treated unfairly, we would go and we would protest. So even with Andile, we did the same, and hence I can be able to say that seeing him today and hearing of his release was a relief to see that a person who has been treated unjustly, a person who has been treated unfairly now has finally come back to among us. Yes, no, I'm listening. Okay, do you believe that arrest was motivated by sexual? Without a doubt. No, without a doubt. As people who are politicians, who are in politics, we know of the what happens in politics. And I want to say that one, the sentence was not because of the act, but was even made further because of what you actually mentioned, the factional battles in the ANC, especially here local. If you could see the divisions nationally cascade down to local, because if one knows that Andile Lungisa is among the people who stand for the radical economic transformation, and when you look at who stands for that and what happens or what is happening to people who stand for that, you would see that you've got Pravin Gordhans who are today being celebrated, and yet they are not only liars but criminals. But you've got Andile Lungisas who would say that we fight against white monopoly capital, and they get sentences that are beyond what they did. So it's not, there's no doubt about it. It's there was a political influence, because both, by the way, from the local and from the national, because the judges that are appointed are judges that are appointed by the current administration or the administration. By the way, Andile is among the people who are anti that those Ramaphosa and people things. Now, when he speaks against that, and we have got a Ramaphosa that has got an influence even over judges, it does not even need a rocket scientist to put 2 and 2 together. So hence, we can be able to say that, it is that because of the factional battles. And by the way, to even put it further, Andile Lungisa was contesting for the chairpersonship of the region in Nelson Mandela Med, standing against people like the current coordinators and conveners. Andile Lungisa was one of the people who pointed out some of the people who were corrupt in this just recent one, PPE, and some of them are among those who are leading today. And then therefore, without me having been a member of the ANC, I can be able to look at it from a distance and say that it doesn't need for one to be a rocket scientist. There is those factional battles, and by the way, they are crippling our state. By the way, they are crippling our municipality, because the instability in the ANC flows to the state. And then therefore, that's why we say that without a doubt, there is a dirty third hand over the case of his arrest, over the instability of the Nelson Mandela region. And it is because Andile is among the people who stood against, or rather between the municipality being looted like nobody's business by the provincial administration of the ANC, which wanted to take the municipality under administration. Andile was among the people, because of their factional battles, is anti those who want to cripple the state, and then therefore that's why he is treated like that. So we believe that those factional battles are not only toxic to the ANC, are not only toxic to the municipality, but in actual fact are killing our country. Yes. Yes. No. One, we were finally vindicated when he actually was cornered to show that he lied, to show that one, in the cross-examination, Pravin had before went to Parliament and said that he had never seen what a Gupta looks like. He does not know the street of the house, and he's got nothing to do with state capture, making himself as a holy cow and righteous. But now, yesterday, because he could not run any further, he conceded to have met. Now, one, he said in Parliament, in a place where he had an oath of office, that he didn't meet. Now, all of a sudden, once again, the same person, by the way, who's made a messiah of South Africa, is now conceding to say that, no, he did meet. Now, one, he didn't lie to Parliament. He didn't lie to mislead those who are anti him, like opposition parties, but he also lied to the citizens of South Africa. He also lied, and he also masqueraded himself as a person who is of moral astuteness. But it is up to now that we have been saying as the EFF this thing that let us not look at this man as a darling, but because there are issues like any other person. Now, the reason why the EFF is calling for one, Pravin to go, but also the call is upon President Ramaphosa that he must do what any person who is in his position, who is ethical and moral, would do. That a person who goes here, swears the oath on office, and lies to people, and when he's asked and told that he's lying, he actually admits again that no, I'm not lying, up until he came to a point where he could not. So one, the EFF said that, and it still says, and we said it before the statement of yesterday, but yesterday more than anything else was a vindication of what we had always been saying. So we do not only call upon Pravin Gordhan, we do not only call upon the ANC, but we also call upon the President Ramaphosa to do the right thing. If it was Jacob Zuma, like he did, he would have sent him the minute that there was a suspicion. But because Pravin Gordhan is not only reflective of what also Ramaphosa represents, which are pet dogs and lapdogs of white monopoly capital, but because also, you see, they represent the same thing. So we want to show the country once again that, you see, what, like we said with Marikana and others, these people are not loyal. They don't stand for what they say. It's just only they speak nice English and so on. So now we are calling upon them to show that they say most they are statesmen. And we want to see that. And we know Ramaphosa is going to have to, he will fight as much as he can to do the right thing. So the EFF calls upon Pravin Gordhan. If he says he's this moral guru that he says he is, if he says he's this ethical standard, then he should, any person who has found himself to have lied, any person who has found himself to have misled, and yet he was pronounced himself as a ethics graph, where is his 10 if it was 0 to 10. Now, if he sees that he's been seen that he's lies, he's supposed to have gone and resigned. But like we know that he will not. And then we are saying that he lied. He also, by the way, misled about the rogue unit. But just because this interview is about the state capture, the call of the EFF then therefore was about that. But also was about what he said and denied that there was ever an existence of a rogue unit, which actually was a surveillance and going around and looking at people who should be persecuted by the state. Now we were saying that, yes. Hey, that was quick. No, we respect the rule of law. That's one thing that we must, even a pretext of anything we do, the pretext is that we respect the rule of law. And secondly, we have never been fans of commissions, or because nobody, starting from Amsdale, has ever been arrested. Even Shabir Sheikh went to visit people in prison because wabuya. Now we're saying that a commission is a good thing. A commission, when something was said that there was state capture, it's a good thing to go and review. However, the worry has always been that even if we find out, by the way, there was no need for the commission, landing of a plane in Waterkloof and all the ripping out of the intestines of the state, being that the parastatals, we saw it in front of our eyes. We didn't have to need to have Raymond Zondo or any other person to come and convince us of that. Then therefore, commissions ideally are a good thing. However, also we know that good things like commissions must never be used for political persecution. So we believe that the commission has already, by the way, heard some of the things that we have been saying before there was a commission. And we had said that we don't have confidence in what are going to be the outcomes of the commission. I am not a spokesperson of Raymond Zondo, but we have seen his fluxing in between truth and that which is not, so that he remains keeps himself safe with that very white voice. But what we are saying is that one, a commission, if it finds out what is going on, must do something about it. The reason why I don't have confidence in this commission is that one, even if we know who did something, a precedent in South Africa is that if there is a commission, we just basically giving publicity to criminals, because Zuma has been there dancing, he goes to court, he comes to court, he says it's right, it's wrong, and yet we know what is going on. Just like Truth and Reconciliation Commission, just like this arms deal, we have now been given a trend that commissions are just a talk shop that waste taxpayers' money. And so, as much as a commission is a good thing, we do not have confidence that there will be any persecutions on this one. And lastly, we can and we should give more credence and consideration on a biasness of Zondo, when now he was appointed and the commission was appointed by Zuma. Now, however, the president is Ramaphosa. Your loyalty lies where your bread is buttered. So, putting two and two together, one is able to believe some of or rather is compelled to think that those things might be right. So what I'm saying is that, no, we've seen commissions, there is nothing exciting about Zondo. And I don't see anything happening to anyone that has been found to have been committed anything wrong. So that commission is just seeing criminals look at each other, criminals given space to even a time. But in reality, anyone that has been found to be wrong, many people there now, up to this stage, have been found and have been said to have been done anything. No legal, or rather any persecution has been done. Therefore, we don't feel that there would be anything done to anyone. So those are just the views around the commission. A commission is a good thing, but we have seen good things go to waste. So even this one, we are not as excited. Yes, yes. Mm-hmm. Yes, no, thanks, Sisi. Unlike other political parties who would go and have to convince people what we will do and if there's anything that I would be given time to say to the people of South Africa and to the people of Nelson Mandela Mantle, when we get into power, which we will, by the way, is not a doubt, or it's just an when, we are going to do the same thing that we have been doing. Here in this municipality, we have been the ones that have been holding the executive to account. Here we have been the ones that have been insourced workers that were security guards. And therefore, I don't even need to campaign and convince the people of Nelson Mandela Metro, because I can just only say we will be doing what we are doing. And people of Nelson Mandela Metro, by the way, are not unaware. They are going to do what is right, because we've been around, we've been in communities, and they have given us the assurance that they are tired of what is going on. They're tired of our municipality that is being made a circus. And the only hope and victory, or rather only hope for this municipality, the only hope of the people of Nelson Mandela Metro is the voting for the EFF. And I know that our people know. No, Diabulela Siswam. No, thank you, Sisi, and we appreciate that. And one last thing that we would want to say is that one, we are a people who are defenders of the law. Now, people have had a problem with this thing of us appearing in things of Andile Lungisa. We want to teach society that any wrong committed against anyone is wrong. Now, don't come and mix politics and whatever. Any wrong committed against anyone is wrong. So now we need to not come here and play politics and use words, but we need to stick to the truth. If you say that you are a moral person, then you need to do what's right, even if it's wrong committed against your enemy. Some of the people that are rejoicing now are people that are rejoicing because of the fact that he was our enemy and whatever. But now that wrong has been committed, you can't celebrate wrong committed against anyone, because you know what will happen is that wrong will be committed against you. But you must always be morally astute and be correct, so that when wrong is done to you, where are people? Where is justice? Justice would be in that corner that you were when you had to stand for justice. And on the Pravin Kodan case and on the state, we want to make it very clear that one, here we are engaged in politics. Politics that want to portray that those that are bad are good and those that are good are bad. And therefore, we will always, and we are calling, and we're emphasizing the call being made by the Commander-in-Chief. We're calling for the call that is being made by the EFF to say that if you are true, if you are honest, Ramaphosa, if you are true, if you are honest, and you are the moral ruler, you should now be able to do the right thing and show us the ruler, because we hear what people say and now we want to see. Now lastly, as we sign off, I want to thank the people of Nelson Mandela Metro for having trusted the EFF. There were many parties here that could have been called, the NCs and others, and in any other, by the way, interviews. But we have always been the hope. We will give you right things, and therefore we want to say, go and register to vote, go and join the EFF, go and register to be a member, and do the right thing and vote for the EFF. Amandla.